Everyone, this is Luke Chieng,
And this is Max Sauers.
and this is our CS125 final project. The app we created is a basketball stat tracker. So basically, me and Max both like watching basketball, and we both played basketball growing up, and we know the importance of keeping stats because it not only is it cool to look at, but it's also just a fun way to watch basketball. So the way our app works is we start by clicking this button, and it brings up this screen of 5 player names along with some music because we thought that'd be pretty fun to add in, and that's also our added Android resource. Okay, turn music off. Okay, basically how our app works is we enter 5 player names. So we'll just put our names in, and we'll put in LeBron. And then we'll say these last guys are just random guys. Okay, and when you click the next button, basically all the player names that you just inputted will be put into this table that corresponds to a certain point total, an assist total, and a rebound total. And you can use these 3 spinners to populate the table, so 3 points, by hitting the submit stat button, and then keep adding up every time you click the button. Say you want to add assists, and you can get 1, and it'll add up as you click the button. And when you hit the finish button, it'll bring you back to the home screen. In terms of the roles that each of us did in creating this app, I did a lot of the design, so populating the buttons, and then figuring out how to work the input boxes, and then also making the table look presentable, and the spinners also looking presentable. Then Max will explain what he worked on.
Okay, so when Luke did more of the XML and design, I did more of the dealing with the coding and getting the different data to work so that the app would run smoothly. So I'm gonna move this over here so I can show you. So we begin with just a simple button here. And one of the first struggles that we encountered was getting the data from these input boxes into the player names right here. So what we had to do was make public variables instead of private class variables and get the data from the text view boxes and store them in those variables so that we could access them from the game activity class with no problem. Another thing that we did was, this is just populating the spinners right here, but we realized there'd be a lot of options because there's 5 players, 3 stats, and 3 quantity options. So we figured out a way to limit the code because there's so many options. And we did that by parameterizing this function, submit stat, with the player selected, stat selected, and quantity selected. And that limited our code a lot, probably about 3 or 4 times. And so this is what we have. And it limited the amount of code that we needed about 3-fold. So yeah, we had a lot of fun doing this app, and we were able to use a lot that we learned throughout the semester, and we also love that basketball. So
Music did not play.